Hi, this is Mr. Payton. Welcome to the Science of Everything, episode 10. As this quarter winds down, I was reflecting on a conversation I had with several of my middle school students. And it's interesting because I've had it at more than one grade level. And they say things like, why are we still in school? Why do we need to take math? Why do we need to take ELA? And I was really struck by how many students legitimately believe that they don't need to have a class on reading anymore, or how many of them think they don't need a class on writing. And as adults, we know better that of all of the skills that you learn in school, the language skills are the ones you use the most, whether it's writing a resume, communicating through email, having to present in front of different groups. The ELA skills are probably the most important ones. And so as we were talking about that, I thought that this episode should be titled Communication, the science of communication. And we really miss out on a lot of the cues when it comes to communication. For me, it's really important how I dress. I'm a tall person, and I know that being tall draws a lot of attention. And so I pay a lot of detail to the kind of sport coat I have on, the color of the tie, the type of shoes, and the students happen to notice. To me, that's our first line of communication, is how we dress. And I understand that as a younger person, you probably don't think as much about that, but as much money as is spent on these shoes and the different types of pants and different brands that students wear, I think they're more aware of it than they want to admit. And so moving past the physical appearance, which is your first line of communication, I think the next thing we have to talk about is how we actually talk to people. And we practice this quite often in both my social science and my natural science classes, also known as social studies and science. They have to present quite often. We do debates. We've been ratcheting up our mock trials where there's a judge and attorneys and witnesses. And, the students are starting to recognize they're not as comfortable speaking in front of their peers as they like to think, particularly when it's not talking about some type of gossip or video game or sporting event or something like that. When they have to speak about an academic topic or an informational topic, things are a little bit different. And so it was just interesting to hear so many students say, I don't think I need my ELA skills. Finally, the one that they think is probably the least important, which I, again, think is hilarious, is, I don't need to practice reading. I think about recipes, how to put things together, preparing for a new job. There's going to be a manual. Even for us athletes out there, reading a playbook. I don't think these kids understand how much information they're going to be required to memorize and understand if they decide to continue to play sports, be involved in clubs, those people who want to be coders, all of those different things. It's just fascinating to me that in this day and age, with all the information we have at our disposal, we still believe that the basic skills don't hold up to today's standards. It is important to me as an adult, as a parent, and as an instructor that I continue to remind students that as you get into the higher grades, what you're trying to learn to do is become critical thinkers, using those skills that you have, reading, writing, and mathematics, to either acquire new knowledge or to apply the knowledge that you have to problem-solving situations. It's really important for students, for parents, for anybody who wants to exist on this earth, that if we aren't trying to improve ourselves, we aren't trying to learn something new, then more than likely we're probably stuck in one place. As we continue throughout this year, and I continue to keep this going, the science of everything, I hope that people start to see some of the interchange, some of the overlap, and some of the interdisciplinary skills that are needed to be successful students and successful people. As we continue to think about what communication means, it's our physical presence, our ability to speak, our ability to listen, and our ability to read information and be able to comprehend it. I hope that we are renewed in our understanding of how important our core classes are. This has been another episode of The Science of Everything. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great weekend.